traveling too. So, okay, so he's on holiday. So February, right? Any tentative date on February?
He's actually gonna find out the good day to go because he believes in feng shui.
Uh-huh.
He believes in feng shui.
Ah, he believes in feng shui. He's Chinese as well, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. He's Vietnamese Chinese.
I think feng shui, they believe on 6 or 8.
Yeah, so I believe around 6 or 8. Yeah, I reckon. But
6 and 8.
he's gonna speak. He's gonna speak to his feng shui master, and he's gonna say, look, this is a good day to fly. And then that's when we're gonna book our flight.
Okay. All right. So just send me your passport copy and also your partner, your investor, passport copy so that I could arrange the landing visa to Sierra Leone on Diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
Okay.
I'll organize that. No worries.
And by the way, I would like to request because this is live now. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not going to mention your name. And how long you've been searching for diamond?
How long I've been searching for diamond?
Yeah, how did you find Wilhelmina in the beginning?
I found you through YouTube. I just look at rough diamonds, and I saw you on YouTube, and I clicked on the video link, and I watched you.
Oh, I see. So now you found Wilhelmina. We are just neighbor. We are both right. Australians, so you don't need to be scared.
Yeah, I'm not scared now since I know you.
Before you were being hesitant to trust African, and I told you that don't worry, we are all Australians, and I live in Brisbane, and you live in Sydney. Yeah.
Correct.
So that is how it works. So did you like the stone that I showed you? Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
okay.
I like the stone. Yes.
So we'll see how it goes. This is the beginning of 2020, and yep. I always inform everyone, move on if you lost your money before, because there's so many buyers has been duped in the past, 18, 17, 19. So
you're wasting your time.
Yeah, they are wasting time. Right now, there's a buyer in Mali, as I mentioned to you. She's a Chinese lady.
Yes.
And I turned it down. His broker was talking to me, and I told this broker, no, I'm not able to help, because our policy, the buyer has to be checked by her or his background.
Correct.
So to me, I feel comfortable with you because you're a jeweler there in Sydney, and we both Australians, so we feel both comfortable to each other.
That's right. I'm in the business, so I understand all about the rough diamonds. So yeah.
So how long have you been in the rough diamond business?
I've been doing it for 18 years now.
18 years.
Yeah.
So when you found Wilhelmina on YouTube, what did you analyze, and how did what is your thought on? So, oh, you found this lady the same in Australia. You're in Sydney, and I'm in Brisbane.
Yes, it was coincidence. I clicked on your link, I looked at the video, then I looked at the information down on the link, and you said you were from Brisbane, Australia. So I was very surprised. And because we're neighbors, I thought I'd contact you. And here we are.
Well, you got the supply. You got the supply. There's a saying: supply and demand determine the price.
Correct.
So I'm sure you're gonna be happy. I can assure you. I can guarantee you. But I will arrive the day before you arrive. I will be on the ground first to do all the homework. Right.
Yeah, of course.
So you believe on feng shui, right?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe between February 6 and 7, because I am going to travel to Conakry and Mali as well for diamond, for gold. So I have to budget the time. So we're gonna stay there in Sierra Leone at least 5 to 9 days. It depends on your payment. It depends on cash or bank to bank. Because if you're gonna pay bank to bank, it would take 5 working days.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to inform your bank, because our Australian bank will wonder why you're going to send money to Africa, because
No,
Africa
no,
is a
I
red
know
flag.
about that. Yeah, I know about that already. So I'll inform my bank before I fly anyway.
Yeah,
So it's fine.
that's
Yeah, I
the
understand about
reason.
that. Yeah,
So I think you're gonna be prepared and do the injection. Do the
yeah.
Hi Benny,
Yeah,
Benny. Good morning to you in Florida. Thank you for watching my live video with the Baya. So you need to have an injection, yellow
yeah,
fever, and
yes,
also malaria injection, right? 1 week
yep,
beforehand.
yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll organize all that too.
Yeah, organize that, and I don't want you to
Yeah.
become sick, because to me, because
I
I
don't
don't
want to
have
become sick either.
yeah, I don't have a thyroid, so I would like to ask the government to give me the exemption of yellow fever, but only have an injection for malaria.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
wish
Good.
you good luck and congratulations, you found the right supplier for rough diamond.
Thank you so much. Wilhelmina.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much
you.
and have a
Okay.
pleasant good
Thank you.
evening. All right.
You too. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Hi, Benny. Good morning to you and good evening here in Brisbane. This is the first month. You're in New Jersey. Okay. This is a first month of 2020. We are now on January 5, 2020. I was just finished talking to my fellow Australian, and he's really in business in diamond. He doesn't ask many questions because he understands. So we are going to travel. I am going to travel um, to Sierra Leone on February. I will only travel one at a time. Now, may I urge those buyer that who visited my store, Gold Trade Worldwide. There are 717 people who come to my store, and I urge you now, because the price of gold is getting higher and higher. This morning when I view, the price of gold is 49,905.34. So I think you've been watching my video in the past, and I'm not here to teach anyone. I'm too busy. And if you're a new buyer, you read, you do your own search, and I would like to advise to any newcomer gold trader, you need to learn, you need to study, you need to do the research. Don't ask Wilhelmina, how much Wilhelmina to get my profit? I am not here to teach you how much you get your profit. It is your responsibility. So I am not here to teach anyone. I am here to sell. Here's the product. You view it, then you pay for it. Now, again, we have another buyer in Mali. She's a Chinese lady, and she wanted 10 kilos of gold. I turned it down. 2019, before Christmas, I turned down seven people that they are in Mali and they are also in Conakry. We don't do business like that. We don't. Before you travel, Mr. Gold Trader, whoever you are, Benny, good morning and happy trekking, and thank you for watching. This is for everyone. I would like to urge everyone. I am the only person who put my face on social media. My video pop up when you search gold and rough diamond. On my store called Gold Trade Worldwide, it is a store. There's a full corporate offer. There's some diamond. You view on manifest. You look at it. Then you confirm how many stone, because there is a minimum on rough diamond. At least 10 to 20 stones. Mhm. So our price from 1,500 from diamond is not cheap. So this buyer that I just finished talking, he's been searching for diamond. Before, when he was talking to me, he was not feel comfortable. He thought that I'm African. I said, no, I'm not. I am Australian. I live in Brisbane, but I was born in the Philippines. This buyer he has a jewelry in Sydney. He's a Vietnamese origin, but he was born in Australia as well. So he's Asian. And I told him that I was born in the Philippines, so he felt comfortable. I'm Australian, I live in Brisbane. So he did feel comfortable. So the reason why I put everything online, because I want to rectify, I want to reform, because there's so many buyers and seller been been duped or encounter disaster. Even myself, I was being screwed by a buyer and the seller in Ghana. That is why I don't touch Ghana. I don't. I prepare to bring the buyer to Mali, to Conakry, and to Sierra Leone. I am traveling by February now. January, my diary is available. So I'm going to drop by in Dubai because I have to meet this big buyer for gold. And he already had a contract and he wanted to meet me face to face. It's okay. We can meet face to face. We can have lunch. Because I am representing the seller. Now, Mr. Buyer, whoever watching me, you are dealing direct to us. Wilhelmina is the extension office. I am not a joker broker because if I am a joker broker, I will float around running and chasing. I am not running and chasing. Buyer is chasing the supply. They come to Wilhelmina because I am extension digital office here in Brisbane. The head office is in Mali, in Conakry, and Sierra Leone. So I would determine which seller I'm going to put you. I would determine. So now this is a buyer from Sydney. I am putting him in Sierra Leone. So February, I am going to travel. So January, my diary is free. So those who visited my page, Gold Trade Worldwide, there are 717 visitors on my store. Now, if I reject you, meaning to say you are not a buyer. Now, I have been rejecting so many inquiries. When I look at it, when he doesn't answer the question, because on Gold Trade Worldwide, there is a question before I allow you to enter. I only allow to enter when the buyer, future buyer, answer the question. So I allow to enter. I want you to take time to read and listen to the video, and then you come back. There is no pressure here. I'm not going to pressure you. I want you to relax and read properly because you are buying 500,000 here. Before you were been duped. I know there's so many joker broker, joker buyer chasing and running around, comparing prices to prices. Well, gold and diamond is precious, you must remember. If you understand what is the meaning of precious, meaning to say there is a value, but I am willing to help you guys. I am here to be with you so that you will not be duped. There is no way you will get gold CIF. There is no way you get the diamond CIF. There's no way. You need to have a capital. And you need to plan properly. You are a trader. You buy and sell. If you buy diamond, you're going to resell it to your own customer. You talk to your own customer. You travel with Wilhelmina, you look at into my page, there is a Conakry and Sierra Leone rock diamond. You choose which parcel you are going to purchase. Because I'm not going to teach you. Here's the stone, you understand it properly. I don't want to give you any answer to your question anymore. I'm not. So there's another problem here. Send me a message on WhatsApp. And here I'm gonna read this message. This buyer from Mali, your problem you want to do deal alone, but business is for of us. No. I am gonna Kirapitis, Mabong, South Africa. Okay, I'm going to answer. To his question, he's a broker. He doesn't read. I told the broker, read it. Let the buyer read the full corporate offer. He is scared. This guy, his name is Kirapitis Maabong, South Africa. He's a broker, and I told everyone on my on my page that we don't deal buyer with no invitation. Just a moment, I'm gonna call this guy. Karapitis. I know him. He was talking to me 2019. Just a moment. See, he was before he was asking about Ghana. Now he's now on Mali. He's floating around. He doesn't read. He doesn't read. He doesn't read at all. No matter how I put everything, this is for your own benefit. All right. So I'm gonna call him. Okay, just a moment. I will educate you guys. And I told that before. Goodbye, joker buyer, joker broker. Yeah, he is from South Africa. There is gold in South Africa. I don't know why he cannot get the gold. He's not answering. He's not answering. Benny, good morning to you. You are from New Jersey. Okay. Thank you for watching my video, Benny. Hi, Karapitis. Good evening. This is Wilhelmina.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I read your message on WhatsApp, and I think you read for corporate offer that we don't deal buyer already on the ground. You must remember, and we need to check the background of the buyer. So did you read the full corporate offer that it was given to you?
I read, but I didn't read yet fully.
Okay, you go back and read.
As you were saying, you know the background of the buyer. Maybe we can deal with as you know the background of the buyer, like you mentioned.
No, just let the buyer read first. You cannot just hide, right? You cannot just hide because we are very strict. I told you that on my page, and I'm giving you already the full corporate offer. Very easy to follow if your buyer is real. Once the buyer is on the ground, he's not a buyer, he's another broker, he's outsourcing, and his buyer paying him. So if you're gonna be stuck, my seller is very tough. He wouldn't give in because gold is money. You're buying money to make money, and we need to screen the buyer. So you need to explain it to your buyer. Don't be carried away with the buyer. Do not. Because I'm telling you, the yeah.
Can I send you her number so that you deal with him? Then
Well, you bring him on conference. First of all, you let him read. You let him read the procedure. Yeah, I don't need to talk to him. Just tell him, read the procedure you can get. And we don't deal marina. My seller will turn it down. Yeah.
Oh, you don't deal marina?
No, we don't deal marina. The seller only deal D in GM. Now, I'm going to explain to you why the seller, they don't deal marina and TMR. They are private. And these minor are loyal to the government. They come to that country that private refinery 2015 and 16. They're also buyer. They buy gold and refine it and resell it. My seller wouldn't do that. He said to me, we don't deal private because their export license, it says they don't sell locally. So we deal only the big buy that meet the criteria. What you have to do, go back and read first, and then send it to the lady. Tell the lady this is the procedure, and tell her we don't deal marina. Marina is a Chinese, and they have an office in Hong Kong. They are buying gold in Mali and refine it to gold bullion and then resell it to 2%. And we are giving the buyer a less discount. It says on the full corporate offer. Yeah.
Okay.
You got me?
I understand.
You understand now?
I got you.
So don't be offended with Wilhelmina. Do not. I want you to read. Okay?
Okay, madam.
Don't be excited because I don't believe that you really understood. So read it first and go and listen to the video, then go back to your buyer that we don't deal Marina or KMR. I will deal when I'm on the ground, but if I am not around, my seller said no. They will turn around. They will reject you guys.
Okay, ma'am.
All right?
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
madam.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's really, okay, it's really, really very easy to buy gold if you have this money. It would be very hard to secure if you don't have this one. Especially if you're on the ground and you are stuck and you come to Wilhelmina, my seller wouldn't touch it. I cannot help you. Last night there was a buyer in Conakry, Guinea. Madam, I'm in Conakry. I've been following your video for a year. I said, and then bring the gold to my office. I said, no, we don't do that. We don't know you. You never know you are a killer. You never know you're a hold-upper. You are buying money, I told this guy. My seller has an office. Before you come to the office, you will be scrutinized by this lady in front of you. Because I am the extension of the seller. I'm the one who put everything online. I'm the one. So many people doesn't like Wilhelmina. They blog me that I'm scammer. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any idea. But I'm gonna warn you guys. Whoever blog me, I know you. I will blog you instead because I have your file. So do not muck around with this lady. Do not. I'm giving you a warning. There was a guy from Ghana. His name is Paul Newton. He was attacking me on YouTube and I responded. And then he tried to add me on my page on Facebook. I blocked him. Paul Newton, if you're watching me, I don't know you and you accuse me as a scammer. I never asked single cents from you. You're one of the scammer. Why? You float around. You don't like my explanation. I was being screwed in Ghana. I was being scammed in Ghana, you must remember. I fired all of my sellers in Ghana. Today, Ghana has 14 refineries. The other night, there was a buyer screaming to supply gold. I said, no, I'm not interested to deal with Ghana anymore. There are 14 refineries in Ghana. I was in Ghana. I went to Ghana. There's so many scrupulous buyers asking CIF. That is why I was even screwed by my own seller and buyer. So I learned from my bad experience. That is why I fired all of my sellers in Ghana. So if you are in Ghana watching me, so be it. Good luck. You reform your attitude. You reform. Do not scam any foreigner. That is the reason why you cannot find a buyer. That is the reason. One buyer from Africa said, Madam, do you know this seller? I said, yes. He was being scammed. And I told this buyer from South Africa, I know this guy. In Ghana, there are good buyer, a good seller, and bad seller. And if you are not very careful, there's gold in Ghana, there's 13, 14 carats, 15 carats, 17 carats, 18 carats. So if you have no experience on this gold business, believe me, you're gonna be disaster. And I am not here to teach you. I am here to sell. It's up to you to get the profit. It's up to you. So I am warning Paul Newton. He's been following my page already. I saw it because I have a monitor on my page. I don't know this stupid guy, excuse my language. And he keep on attacking me. So why you gonna attack me? I don't know you. I tell the world that yes, there are good and bad in Ghana, and I don't deal Ghana. I told my seller, I warned my seller, You screwed me. I'm going to blog you. I'm going to inform the international buyer that be careful in Ghana. Even in Mali, I warn my seller. If my buyer complain, I'm going to fire my seller as well. Because when the buyer trusts me, and I don't want buyer to complain, I warn every seller I have. That is the reason why I said on my page, goodbye joker buyer and joker broker. Move on if you lose money. You will recover if you follow the golden rules of every country. Gold and diamond is not CIF. This is cash business. You need to have money to buy the products. And if you ask, Madam, how much is my profit? That's not my business to tell you how much is your profit. There was a guy from Europe. He called me very early morning. He said to me, I don't trust African. I said, why you don't trust African? I lost money. Well, that's not my problem. It's your problem. He was asking CIF. And I told him, if you don't trust African, don't buy. Keep your money. Stay away from gold business. Then suddenly he said, bring gold to Dubai 1 kilo and we will pay up their final asset. I said, that is the reason why. You're one of the scammer. A real buyer doesn't talk too much. My seller delivered gold in Dubai before Christmas worth $2 million. And we don't deal small timer. That is the reason why people are scared with this woman. You're a small timer, you're just time waster. You cannot just leverage the gold. You cannot just get to buy gold to get the profit without money. I just finished talking to a jeweler. He buy diamond. He likes it. He will travel with me. And when I travel, I do charge my extra service to accompany the buyer. So if you don't have the money, if you cannot afford my extra service, therefore you cannot afford to pay the products. And this buyer from Sydney, he has no problem because he is a real buyer. Now, January, my diary is open, available. So those buyer that came to the gold trade worldwide, I am informing you guys, the gold today is 49,905. I will repeat again, you are buying unrefined. The 49,900 is already refined. So gold has many uses. Either you make into $1, $2. There is gold on mobile phone. There is gold on laptop. The gold can make into jewelry, full state, industrial, or 99.99. If you go on my page, there's a video there. I went to the refinery here in Brisbane. Even 92%, they can refine it to gold bullion. So you are confused because you have no idea what you are buying. You only think how much is your profit. I'm not giving you how much is your profit. Here's the product, you resell it. You sell it to the refinery, you ask the refinery, Mr. Refinery, tell me what can I do for you? I'm going to supply gold. What are you intend to buy? What are you intend to use? Then you come back to Wilhelmina, we will supply. It's up to you to get the profit. We will give you a discount. Now, on my video, every video said, our selling price less 5%. Okay, who do I say when they ask proof of performance? No, someone guys asking me, Benny. The proof of performance is already there on my page, Benny. Just go on the gold trade worldwide. There's a flashback performance. Sold gold. I don't need to convince Benny. Tell your contact that Wilhelmina would not convince. Just go on my page. A flashback 2019. Diamond sold, gold sold. So I don't need to convince the performance. I don't. I am traveling to Sierra Leone with a buyer from Australia buying diamond. He's willing to pay my travel cost to accompany him. So I don't need to convince anybody. I don't. The buyer has to convince me if he has the proof of fund, the value of his order. Go back, Benny, to your friend. Tell him, well, Amina would not convince you. Exactly, thank you. Good, Benny. Go back to your buyer. Wilhelmina would not convince you. You need to convince Wilhelmina because Wilhelmina is a seller's mandate. I am with the buyer, helping with the buyer to get the supply. Go back and tell him, Benny. Go back. I know this guy, but I'm not going to mention his name so that he would not embarrass. He's a joker, Benny. He's a joker broker. He doesn't read. I've given him the full corporate offer. He doesn't read. And then one of his partner, he contacted me. Again, he doesn't read. So that is why, Benny, I've given you a copy. I'm very straightforward and honest. I don't need to convince anyone. Just go to my performance. There's a saying, a picture paint 1,000 words. My performance will tell. And I don't need to tell who is my buyer because the buyer is confidential. I don't mention the name. Before I have a live conference, I think, Benny, you heard that. And I asked permission if we can have a live video call. He said, no problem. And that is a real buyer. A joker buyer, Benny, they are scared to be online live. Why? Because they are scrupulous. They are. I'm not scared. You are not scared, Benny, to show your face, right? We have a live video call. You're not scared because you're a guy that really straightforward. I'm not scared to show my face. I'm not. I am here to help buyers because most of the buyer has been scammed before. There are two kinds of people in this world, Benny. Good and bad. Wilhelmina can be good, Wilhelmina can be bad. I'm always on the middle. You know what I mean? The logic of business. I'll give you my background again. Benny knows me, that's why he's watching my live video. I've been in marketing for bloody 36 years. Buying and selling exactly the same. There is no shortcut. A minute you shortcut, Wilhelmina start to wonder. There's a saying, show us a proof of fund, your bank statement, remove the bank account. No one will steal your money, nobody. Your information will stay with us. We will not go to the third party. I am the one who will scrutinize the buyer. I am the one who will reject the buyer. I am the one who will know which seller I'm going to put the buyer. And I am the one who will advise the buyer to proceed or not to proceed. And the seller will say, okay, well, Amina, did you screen the buyer properly? Can he afford to pay? What's the point of inviting the buyer if the buyer has no money? Very simple, very logic. Very logic. If you don't have the money, well, how are you going to function? If you're gonna think, oh, CIF, I'm telling you, Benny was been following me for many years, and he told me that he was been talking to bunch of joker. Now he start to understand, and he come back to Wilhelmina, and he said, you know what Benny was saying to me? Wilhelmina, you are the only person who put your face on social media. Is that correct, Benny? He said to me, and he's sick and tired. No, I'm not scared. I want to do live video with you to show I'm a real broker. Correct. Why? Because all of the sudden there is no buyers. Ha ha ha. I guess you are still celebrating Christmas. All jokes. Benny, Christmas is gone, Benny. I work so hard. I work 7 days a week. I don't mind dealing with broker. That is business. But I want you to read. And I said to Benny, if you have a buyer, bring it on conference. First of all, Benny already knows the business. Show the full corporate offer. Very simple. Now, Benny, next time you are watching me live, when you meet a buyer or buyer's mandate, ask number one question. Mr. So-and-so, you are a buyer's mandate, right? Say yes. And how long you've been searching for gold on behalf of your buyer? You're gonna ask question, Benny. And then you, the buyer's mandate. Oh, I've been searching for 1 year. Then you start to wonder because the real buyer doesn't talk too much. So that buyer's mandate, he has a conflict of interest. He's scared to reveal his buyer. He's scared. So what you have to do, Benny, if you have a buyer's mandate, bring him on WhatsApp conference. Before you're gonna bring him, show the full corporate offer, explain it to him. You can detect whether the buyer's mandate is really a buyer's mandate. They just say, oh, I have a buyer's mandate. Okay. How long you been searching for gold if you're a buyer's mandate? The real buyer doesn't talk too much. Last year, I had a buyer that has been scammed. He has a big office in Dubai. And this buyer, we exchanged information. He sent me his business license, his export license, and a refinery account, and custom code number. He sent a formal letter of intent. His representative revealed everything, and then when he sent us the letter of intent to buy, immediately I sent it to the head office. I said to my head office, this buyer has been screened by Wilhelmina. Let us proceed. So we send the buyer a contract, attach mining license, attach the export license of the seller, attach the passport copy of my seller, attach the banking details of the seller. That is real. But most of the broker, they cut and paste. They're scared of the commission. Now, let's go back to the commission. Actually, we don't give commission at all because we give the buyer a discount. If you're dealing with so many chain of broker, you're gonna fail, I'm telling you. However, if he is a buyer's mandate, his buyer is paying him because the buyer hired him. Now, if you're gonna bring buyer to me, I will allocate to pay you a referral fee. Let me handle it because I'm going to screen the buyer. I'm the one will reject the buyer. I'm the one. I am the gatekeeper. That is why everybody's scared of me. So you don't need to be scared. Benny, I'm willing to help you. You don't need to be scared. No one will circumvent you. Nobody will circumvent you if you are very straightforward. Remember, Benny, someone sent me a message and I give you a copy because I want to inform you, and I told you that these two guys are broker. And this guy, he sent me message on WhatsApp, on Skype. He said he's a lawyer. He has so many buyers. He's from United States. And he said, I am a lawyer. I've been working for this purchaser. Well, if you're a lawyer, you're only a lawyer on a piece of paper, but you have no idea about the products. Wilhelmina have an idea. Wilhelmina has been in marketing for 36 years, buying and selling. I know the product knowledge. And I'll give you my background again. I've been in real estate. Here in Australia, the principal would not teach me. The principal give me the sample of the contract. Sample, everything you read. Okay, Wilhelmina, do you have a laptop? Because here in Australia, when you are a real estate, they will not hire you if you don't have a licensed real estate. Real estate salesperson. They will not hire you. They will not train you. And they will ask you, do you have a laptop? Do you have a mobile phone? Do you have a car? Why they ask me? Because everything is online. Do you have a camera? Yes, they do. I do. Because when I do the listing, I take a pictures of the property to the vendor, and then we uploaded that into realestate.com.au. We call that possession. So nobody taught me. I'm the one who taught everybody here online because I want to reform the body image. Africa is rich on natural resources. I've been to Africa. So that is the reason why the seller hired Wilhelmina. I am not a joker broker. I'm not. Because if I'm a joker broker, I will run away. I'm running and chasing. I'm not chasing. Everybody chase Wilhelmina. Why? Because my video is everywhere. Mhm. I explain on gold, I explain the diamond, I explain on how to secure properly. Now the full corporate offer is online now. So when you send a letter of intent, attention to Alamina, then I would know which seller I'm going to put you. I would know. So I will determine which seller I'm going to put you. So once you send a letter of intent, attention to Alamina coming from the buyer, address, telephone number, it says on the full corporate offer. You read it, guys. Believe me, you are a winner. I can assure you. I've been to Conakry. That's why on my gold trade worldwide, there's a flashback sale. A flashback. If you understand what is the meaning of flashback, I done my transaction successful. So that flashback, it really convinced the buyer. If you don't trust, then you are not a buyer. You are hesitant, so keep your money. There was a guy from Europe. He called me. He been following me for 2 years until now. He cannot get the gold. He said he was being scammed. I told him that's not my problem. It's yours. He was asking CIF. I thought so. So he said to me, African is scammer. I don't trust Africa. I said, you are one of the scammer. You are. You know the meaning of CIF? Cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. You have to pay shipping cost 1%. That is normal. You have to pay the insurance 1% on the total sale value. So how are you able to pay the gold? How? How? So therefore you don't have the money. Isn't it, Benny? Mm. Benny is learning from me. He said to me, I was been following you for 2 years, Walomina, and I didn't believe you before. He said to me that during our conversation. Now he start to understand. I don't mind you guys learn it because this is very lucrative business. Very. Yeah. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on 2020. If you read on my gold trade worldwide, goodbye joker buyer and joker broker, don't be offended on that wordings. Do not. I done it purposely in order for you to learn. Because if you're asking for CIF, is BLC to me you're a joker. Because Africa doesn't deal CIF, cash business. They work so hard and they have worker to feed and you're asking for CIF, you wanted to become instant millionaire. You're going to leverage, you're going to launder. This is not laundering business at all. This is not. That is the reason why people are scared with this woman. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to launder because it's very dangerous to launder. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And if you think, oh, I will buy gold and diamond, I will resell it, how much is my profit? You will get the profit if you don't have capital. The profit will come when you lay out the capital. So I think I already explained it. Benny, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for watching. And I'm sure 2020 would be the best year of Benny. So don't be scared, Benny. I am here to help everyone. I am willing to give the buyer a referral fee. My seller would not give any commission at all. There was an African guy said, Madam, let us have a contract now. I'm not going to have a contract with you. The contract and the buyer and the seller has to sign a contract. They have to sign it because the buyer will make a decision. The buyer is going to pay the seller, not me. So the buyer and the seller has to sign a contract after Wilhelmina satisfied. Because I'm going to advise my seller to proceed. Believe me, guys, I've been to Africa. I know ins and out. There's so many foreigners stuck in Africa. Right now, there's a lady in Mali. I turn it down here. Her broker from South Africa, two of them. I turn it down. We don't deal buyer with no invitation at all. Just imagine this buyer from Sydney. Just imagine. He's a diamond buyer. Just imagine. He was hesitant in the beginning. And he said, Where you coming from? I said, I'm in Brisbane. Oh, we're just neighbor. Yeah. Where are you? I'm in Sydney. So he started to feel comfortable. So that is a real buyer. Mhm. And he's willing to pay my extra